The Hooters brand presents a fascinating case study in the restaurant industry, with several distinctive characteristics that set it apart. Unlike most dining establishments recognized primarily for their cuisine or ambience, this chain has built its identity around its service staff. The servers, dressed in the company's distinctive attire, have maintained a friendly, upbeat presence for more than 4 decades. Their role has been instrumental in sustaining a concept that now faces serious challenges. Recent years have brought significant difficulties. Throughout 2024, approximately 40 domestic establishments were shuttered due to poor performance, a substantial reduction considering the chain operated roughly 300 locations at that time. This represented a continued decline from a high point of about 400 sites in 2008, just before the economic downturn. The situation became more critical in March 2025 when bankruptcy proceedings began, revealing liabilities exceeding $376 million. While operations will likely continue, substantial modifications are expected, which we'll explore further. I've compiled 5 primary factors contributing to the chain's deterioration. External market pressures. Multiple outside forces have negatively impacted the business. The economic crisis of the late 2000s inflicted damage from which complete recovery never materialized, as consumer spending at restaurants decreased substantially. The global health crisis created obvious obstacles, resulting in exceptionally weak revenue that year. Much of the current debt burden originated from secured financing obtained in 2021, apparently aimed at weathering those challenging circumstances. When those 40 locations closed in 2024, company statements suggested prevailing market dynamics played a key role in their difficulties, presumably referencing elevated expenses for ingredients and staff, alongside inflation constraining consumer budgets. The subsequent bankruptcy documentation, filed months later, specifically mentioned inflationary pressures and sector-wide obstacles as contributing elements. Additionally, quick service and fast casual establishments have steadily drawn patrons away from traditional sit-down restaurants for an extended period. Current economic conditions have intensified this trend dramatically. Numerous comparable dining chains have encountered difficulties, with several declaring bankruptcy recently, including major seafood and casual dining brands. In 2017, management attempted addressing this challenge by launching a fast casual takeout wing concept under a different name. Looking back, this initiative showed potential promise. A franchising agreement in 2021 aimed to establish 60 locations, but implementation has stalled. Their website currently lists just 3 operational units after 4 years, indicating minimal traction. While these circumstances have been largely beyond management control, additional internal factors warrant examination. Quick favor before we dive deeper. If you are enjoying this deep dive into the company's documentary, please like and subscribe. Ongoing controversies. Throughout its history, the company has maintained one of the industry's most contentious reputations. I've previously documented their controversial background in another presentation. Numerous legal disputes involving discrimination and workplace issues have emerged over the decades. One particularly notable case from 2002 involved a server who won a sales competition with what she understood to be a new vehicle as the prize. Instead, she received a toy figure from a popular film franchise, a deceptive practice that resulted in litigation. These legal settlements have drained company resources consistently. However, the reputational damage has proven even costlier. For various reasons, many have questioned the organization's ethics, leading some to actively protest or simply choose alternative dining options. Intensified competition. Recognition must be given to this chain's pioneering role in its category. It's broadly acknowledged as the original establishment in a self-explanatory restaurant segment that has since expanded into a multi-billion-dollar market. In 2013, a competing chain even secured federal trademark protection for the category terminology. One comparable brand has expanded to approximately 100 locations over 2 decades. Early in its development, several senior executives departed to join that competitor as franchise operators, sparking yet another legal battle regarding proprietary information theft. The company also pioneered specializing in a specific menu item that was gaining popularity during the 1980s. That food item has since become extraordinarily popular nationwide. Data suggests Americans consumed nearly 1.5 billion of them during the most recent championship game, averaging more than 4 per capita. With such heightened demand, the marketplace has become extraordinarily competitive. One competitor that launched around the same time has expanded to over 1,000 locations, while another that started more than 10 years later now operates over 2,000 sites. Consequently, the chain no longer maintains its former distinctive position in either category. Unstable ownership. The business was launched by 6 partners in a Florida coastal city in 1983. Despite a challenging beginning given the location issues and the founder's lack of industry background, clever promotion, and the concept's novelty helped build a substantial chain. In 2001, the founding group sold trademark and licensing rights for $60 million while retaining their existing properties. Since then, the ownership structure has become convoluted. 5 years after that sale, the new owner died unexpectedly, and his son inherited a 30% stake and assumed leadership. However, inheritance disputes with the deceased spouse led to extended legal proceedings. This ultimately resulted in a sale to private investors in 2011. Another attempted sale in 2015 didn't materialize until 2019, when 2 private equity groups acquired the company. Such frequent ownership transfers mean constant leadership turnover and strategic shifts. Initiatives get abandoned and resources squandered. However, this situation has a unique dimension. While most locations experience this turmoil, the original founding group maintained control of roughly 20 restaurants in Florida and Illinois. According to them, these locations have consistently outperformed the others. The head of the original organization claims his restaurants generate approximately double the revenue of comparable sites. The truly distinctive aspect emerges through the bankruptcy process. That original company will soon assume control of around 100 additional locations, quadrupling their current operation scale. The founding group's leader has criticized the private equity management approach, stating noticeable differences exist in food quality and service standards, which he intends to rectify. He maintains that recipe modifications were implemented elsewhere, while his locations preserved superior original formulations. His central complaint focuses on what he views as excessive sexualization that has discouraged family patronage, which leads directly to the next issue: brand identity confusion. From inception, the concept has incorporated sexualized elements. This seems undeniable given the establishment's name and uniform design. An early publicity breakthrough in 1986 involved a server being featured in an adult magazine. Historically, the brand cultivated a somewhat edgy, boundary-pushing image. Outsiders without first-hand experience likely perceive it as more adult-oriented than reality. Many viewers probably consider this the least family-appropriate restaurant chain. My previous content about the company faced repeated content policy complications, likely because the brand itself triggers assumptions about inappropriate content, even when none exists. While this public image has arguably attracted certain customers and contributed to success, it has simultaneously created growth limitations and narrowed appeal. When competitor wing restaurants open hundreds of locations, pressure exists to match that expansion. However, this proves difficult when targeting such a restricted demographic. There's no perfect solution regarding whether to emphasize adult or family orientation. Either direction involves trade-offs. In 2013, coinciding with their 30th anniversary, management implemented branding and menu modifications aimed at family friendliness, emphasizing sports themes. Yet in 2021, controversy erupted over plans for even more revealing uniforms. The pendulum swings repeatedly. Currently, the original owners assuming control of numerous locations, plans shifting toward family friendliness, noting that in some regions, potential customers say they couldn't visit due to spousal objections. They find the situation discouraging and want to change it. Altering public perception of these establishments will prove extremely challenging. Even if successful, questions arise about what would differentiate them at that point. When people think of this brand, one thing comes to mind: wings. Wait, what? I'm curious about your views. Is this a controversial adult-themed establishment with limited prospects for reputation rehabilitation or significant growth? Or is it an entertaining restaurant with sufficient strategic planning to overcome recent challenges and achieve unprecedented expansion? Additionally, have you personally dined there? If so, what was your experience like? I'd appreciate hearing your assessment and any other thoughts about the brand. Please share your comments. I'm interested in your perspective.